Let's get this party started.
Coverage tight, spotlight on tomorrow. Who you with? Trust, you'll be delighted that you followed. At Phirst Contention, the invention. We debate sports, of course we should mention. What's that? We cover games, we don't play suspensions. We 100, so if your star's missing, we let you know your squad surely gone fishing. We never fish though, no, not our motto. We sport on deals, on court, on fields. The victors, the vengeance, the legends, latest invention. Phirst Contention.
Hello, Phirst Contention fans. Welcome back. All new season just for you. I am your host, Josh Harris. We got a whole lot of sports in store for you. Live with us from Minneapolis, we got Mr. Marvin Banks.
Hola, senors and senoritas. Guess who's back?
Also,
back again. Marvin's back.
Tell
a friend.
Salutations. It feels so good to be back.
And from our Maryland studios, Mr. Steven Davis.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Phirst Contention. Let's get it going today and have some fun debates. Look forward to the second season.
And I am your host, Josh Harris, live from our DC studios. Let's jump right into it. We got a whole lot going on. It seems like basketball season never ended with the Olympics going on and all the trade rumors. Dwight Howard goes to join the Los Angeles Lakers. Thoughts? Are the Lakers going to be guaranteed another championship with the Big Four there? We got Kobe Bryant, we got Dwight Howard, we got Pau Gasol, and Steve Nash. Guaranteed? What do you guys think? We'll start things off with you, Ty.
I do not think they're guaranteed to win it. You look at the way that the Thunder play, and we all know that they live by the jump shot, and they did them in the finals, but when they are stroking, they are stroking. So honestly, if they continue to shoot from downrange, they don't got to worry about going in against the seven-footers, Gasol and Howard. They'll be just fine. But, I mean, honestly, you got to bump them up to number 2. I mean, we talk about contraction. There's only a few teams in the league that really have a chance. Lakers are really, truly now one of them. And the rest of them, the Nuggets, and, you know, the 76ers, they might as well contract because, I mean, it's like a 14 race.
All right. Banks, what are your thoughts?
Well, obviously with the trade of Dwight Howard, they make the Lakers a way better team, but they can beat the Heat in the finals, but I don't think they could beat OKC in the West, and I think that's probably the main problem. With Ibaka and Perkins, you still have a defensive foe that can neutralize Gasol and Dwight. This past Olympics is arguably that KD is probably the best player in this Olympics, and he's only probably going to get better as the season goes on.
Well, that would be best offensive player. It can be argued whether he's a better player all around. And also in the Olympics, Serge Ibaka showed that he could really step up when needed to. So we'll have to wait and see. Steve, what are your thoughts?
Well, I definitely don't think nothing is guaranteed for the Lakers, even though they got Dwight Howard, and Steve Nash. They're definitely in contention, though, in the West, but I'm still going to have to give the edge to the Western Conference champions, the Oklahoma City Thunder. And the thing about it is the Lakers are going to be without Dwight Howard for about the majority of the first part of the season because of back problems. And we don't know how severe that's going to be towards the end of the year either. So this trade is kind of a high risk, high reward. Don't know how it's going to pan out in the future right now, but on paper this team looks legit.
And let's not even talk about all the amazing things that the Orlando Magic got out of this trade.
Womp, womp.
Let's not talk about the
Or not. We're going to move right along.
I dare somebody name 5 players that got traded to Orlando Magic. Right
More heartless.
No one will be able to do that. We're going to keep it moving. Moving right along. International, we're going to talk about a topic we don't often get to. Football. And I'm not talking about American football. I'm talking about international soccer, as we call it here in America. Yes.
Oh!
Team USA beat Mexico at home in Mexico for the first time in 75 years of competition.
My God.
What does this mean for American soccer? Are we the next force to be reckoned with on the field? We'll start things off with you, Steve.
Honestly, when I looked at this stat, I kind of thought it was kind of embarrassing because for it to be called a so-called rivalry, to be losing 75 years straight, going 0-23 with one tie, being outscored 81-14. Yeah, we finally got a win, but at the same time, it's like, wow, this shouldn't even be a rivalry. I mean, the Gophers have a better shot at winning the axe back or the jug back from Michigan than USA has to create another rivalry with Mexico. This is kind of embarrassing, but hey, good luck. We got one win on the board. Woo!
All right. Banks, what are your thoughts? USA all day or what?
When you look at the sport of soccer within the U.S., you have to look at it as we are still a preemie. There's still Similac on the breaths of Tim Howard, Landon Donovan, and the rest of those boys over there on the USA Olympic team. I have to totally agree with Steve. 70-plus years since he won in Mexico, this rivalry kind of reminds me of the Jets and Giants, where the Giants keep on winning the Super Bowl and the Jets have Tim Tebow.
All right, we won't get into Tebow. That's a later conversation. Ty, what are your thoughts? USA soccer, Mexico rivalry.
This is absolutely nothing to beat your chest about. You finally get a win. I mean, if I could use some figurative and compare this to something, it's like the Browns. The Browns have been terrible for the longest time. Remember the last time they had a good season? They were 10-6. Under Romeo Crennel, and then after that, they went right back down. So obviously, it's you can be optimistic about it. We've got a better coach in Jurgen Klinsmann, and they've switched things up from the old coach Bobby Bradley. But I mean, when it comes to soccer, people don't really pay attention, and we don't put as much effort into it. So I think we still got some strides to make. But hey, you can be happy for them.
I'd say that people may not pay attention in America. We've never been a force to be reckoned with, but worldwide, soccer is the game, or football, as we say. So we'll keep you guys posted. Will Team USA be able to do it again, beat Mexico ever again? Maybe again in another 75 years. We'll see. Phirst Contention, we'll still be around keeping you guys updated because that's what we do. And moving right along, our last topic, baseball. Yes, baseball season's in full-fledged. Actually, yes, we're not even midway to the season because baseball lasts forever. We're talking about no-hitters. No-hitters. There has been 6 games pitched already this season with no-hitters. Why do you guys think that they're increasing? There's never been a season before like this with this many no-hitters. What is it? Are hitters just that terrible, or is it a pitcher's game now? We'll start things off with you, Banks.
It's really kind of hard to say if the pitchers are better, if the hitting is down, because of PEDs, because of drugs, or different things of that nature. Melky Cabrera just got caught with PED enhancement, a 50-game ban. But it's hard to say because Roger Clemens was allegedly on steroids. Barry Bonds was allegedly on steroids, and a lot of pitchers. If you remember, Eric Gagne, the old Dodgers closer, who came out with steroids. So it's really hard to say. But I have to say that steroids probably play a bigger impact on the hitters, which is causing more of a pitcher's game.
Steve?
I would have to say, just to pinpoint on what Marv said with the steroid issue, as you looked at most of the hitters getting caught over the early parts of this century, the pitchers are kind of going under the radar. What stat is kind of shocking to me is Victor Canty, the guy who owns Balco, said about 50% of the players today probably use performance-enhancing drugs. Wow. And it's so easy to kind of slip by the test and get past it. So you never know. You got these pitchers out here throwing 90 miles per hour on average, and that didn't happen a lot in the past. Nowadays, you get more pitchers than you can get hitters. So you can't really tell, man. It's a pitcher's game. It's kind of boring to watch, but it might be because some enhancements on the pitchers instead of the hitters.
And Ty, should we lock down on pitchers and start testing them double time, or what?
I think we should lock down on Steve because Steve got a lot to say coming into my time. Anyways, I agree with you guys. You've got the performance enhancing, and I think the crackdown on that is what has began this. And I mean, you know, obviously everyone was in awe of the game when people were smacking them out the park, but now without that, you know, it's so hard to hit a baseball with the bat. You know how hard it is to make connection, nonetheless get it out the park. And so obviously everyone's going to continue to get better and better, but it's harder to hit that ball than it is to pitch that ball. So I think the pitchers have the edge, and it's showing up now.
Oh, very interesting. We'll have to see. Will there be a crackdown on pitchers? Because we've already seen that all of the major hitters have been cracked down on and gotten caught for steroid usage. But it's amazing, too, the stat that he says 50% of players in the MLB use performance-enhancing drugs. Crazy. Who would have thunk it? And that's all we have for today's episode of Phirst Contention. From Minneapolis, we have Marvin Banks, Ty Sosina, Maryland, Steve Davis, and from Washington, D.C., I'm Josh Harris. We'll see you next time, Phirst Contention fans. Peace.
Trey's up.
Ride with Phirst Contention, that's full throttle in. We sport on deals, on court, on fields. The victors, the vengeance, the legends, latest invention. Phirst Contention. We sport on deals, on court, on fields. The victors, the vengeance, the legends, latest invention. Game face grit, like born for playoffs. Say it all in small time like payoff.